Stay put and wait for rescue. Correction. I am not here to argue semantics, Master, so I will simply inform you that you are wrong, as were those recently corrected miners. Indignant answer. Master, the miners intended to place you in jeopardy. I could not allow. After reprogramming the mining droids to mine any organics they perceived, then a series of flawlessly timed explosions drove the miners into their dormitories, where I was able to gas them all at once without wasting time hunting them through the mining tunnels. I then administered a large dose of sedatives to the remaining miners in the med bay, enough to kill them, but ensure you slept peacefully. Of course, against my calculations, you awakened from your tank prematurely. I am... Answer. It is beyond the scope of my programming to probe the motivations of my clients, Master. Suffice to say that You have been wandering the galaxy since the end of the Mandalorian Wars, leaving little record of your passage. It is a... chiding answer. My programming renders me incapable. However, I am free to say that my client is wealthy and very interested in possessing... Answer. No, Master. Killing you was never the intention. If you resist my attempts to return you to your Kotor tank, however, I may inadvertently fracture your skeleton in several places to incapacitate you. Admission. It was a matter of chance, Master. I happened to be serving as a protocol droid on the Harbinger when you booked passage. Irritated statement. However, when the Ebon Hawk appeared and salvaged us from the wreckage, I was forced into a series of rapid recalculation. Resignation. Very well, Master. If inflicting...
So basically, what you missed in between these episodes was I basically went around different places around the station, like trying to find different ways around different paths and figuring out how to get off. We've been docked by a big ship, we felt a bad presence, and we're trying to figure out what to do, and this droid right here was posing as a protocol droid, but I actually know because a similar droid was in the last game that he is an assassin droid, and so this is HK50, and he was trying to turn us in for a bounty, and we were able to trick him into helping us, and so now he's here basically trying to murder us and collect the bounty on us. And in Kotor 1, there was a HK unit called HK47 that was actually Revan's robot. Not robot, his droid, that's what they're called. It was his droid, and he actually became your companion, and he's actually in this game as well. He's on the Ebon Hawk, he's just in disrepair, so I assume we have to repair him by finding parts as we play the game. And so that's kind of where we're at. We have been ambushed by this guy and had our dialogue tree and all that stuff, and I'm just kind of optimizing and leveling up before we do this big fight. And that's where we're at.
Yes.
Just say the word.
Something is wrong.
You sense no one on board?
Everyone here has been slain. Yet there are few signs of battle. No carbon scoring, no blast of fire.
Then what are we doing on this ship? We were better off in the You two are supposed to be Jedi?
If the assassin machine was correct, then we cannot reach the hangar.
Look, I don't mean to cast another shadow on this, but even if you could reach the ship you came in on, you'll need the orbital drift charts to clear the Paragus asteroid field, unless you want to have the short... Well, of course they have the asteroid drift charts in their... Well, we'd have to get to the bridge, I mean...
That is a sound plan for them. Our enemies get... Very well.
So this ship came on, and it basically had a big bad guy, one of the main bad guys, come out. And he's chasing us down, and we are using his ship to try and get to our ship that we want to take, the Ebon Hawk, which was also in the first Star Wars game. The Ebon Hawk was kind of the flagship. And T3, who you've already seen, is also in Kotor.
Pure bizarre.
Very lovable droid. And so we're going moseying around the ship, and obviously, you know, you can tell there's a bunch of dead bodies, and I'm assuming there's stealth generators. And so one thing I'm doing here is, normally I only move with my player character, just my preference, but this guy has a high awareness, and you need awareness to spot enemies before they can like stealth attack you. And so I'm running around with him to see if I can spot them quicker, or if the kind of group will use the generalized stats. We end up switching back because I end up, you know, leveling up the awareness of my character. But that's what we're doing right now. We're just exploring the ship. You saw a little bit there a moment ago. The game was explaining to us like the light and dark side choices, as well as the bonding with your companions. This game has put a bit more emphasis on those bonds and on those choices, which has been interesting. Like I've seen so far, because I've played a bit ahead of this at the time of this recording, but it's interesting to see how they've kind of taken that RPG element and taken it a step further. It's been very enjoyable, and I'm really interested to see how it affects things going forward. In the old game, you basically kind of had time pass, and then you could kind of have dialogue with one of your companions, and you could essentially kind of work them up to like the end of your quest line with them, if you will. But it was largely based off of like going, like completing enough stuff, and then go, oh, it unlocked or whatever. And each, like, it didn't really matter your light or dark side affiliation. You could just keep seeing those through to the very end. But this game's a bit different. It doesn't seem to have that kind of very clear-cut straight path, because my actions will make the influence of certain companions better or worse depending on how predisposed they are to violence or goodness, which is going to be kind of cool. In general, my character is going to be a light side character who occasionally struggles with darkness.
Yes, sir.
Because there are some situations that come along that are just silly not to use a dark side choice. Like in Kotor 1, to get T3, you go to a droid shop and you say, oh, I'm here on behalf of this black market person to get this droid. And, oh, okay, you can have it 5,000 credits. And you can either pay the 5,000, which is a lot at that point in the game, or you can just be like, I'll kill you if you don't give it to me. Or you can be like, I'll report you to such and such. Black markers, and oh, okay, just take it for free, but that gives you dark side points. So stuff like that, I'll probably hit the dark side in this game as well, but you never know. We've played if we had the ability to help someone or to play the light side role, we've done it for the most part. There have been a few dark side things, one that was completely unavoidable, but yeah, that's kind of how we'll play this game.
Care of this. Pure Pazak. Let me take care of this. Damn thing's stuck. Let me take care of this. Pure Pazak.
We have taken on passengers to Telos.
Sir, we've just received an emergency broadcast. A freighter under attack by Sith forces.
Can you get an ID on the ship?
Yes, sir. We have its ID signature. It's not in our databanks, but its profile... Sir?
I'll need to confirm with command. Report.
The Sith warship is empty, sir. We attached an umbilical and sent 3 strike teams through it, and there's
no one on board?
They're still in their berths, sir. This place...
Then who was
We don't know, sir. The freighter's empty, too. We did a clean sweep and nothing except a lone T3 unit, badly damaged. Did you still want tractor beams to the Harbinger?
Search the freighter and the warship one more time. If they're clean,
Yes, sir.
No idea why the Admiral thought that freighter worth all...
Everyone on the Ebon Hawk was dead, sir. We're starting autopsies within the hour.
What about that Sith corpse we
We haven't had a chance to fully examine it, sir. He looks human, but he's fractured in several places.
And keep me posted. Something's wrong here, and I want to know where... We're still experiencing a problem with the communications array, and now maintenance is telling me there's a cascade failure in the weapons.
Sir, I just picked up an unusual sound from MedLab.
Ah!
I have come for the Jedi.
What the hell was that?
Sir, I don't know. Communications just got cut.
Send a security team to MedLab, now!
What is it?
let me take care of this. Pure Pazak. Time to even the odds. More where that came from.
How ominous.
Are you
My
alright?
player character is going to this room.
This was your room?
Turns out
When?
this was my room. I wonder what we're gonna find.
We do not have much time. Whatever you intend.
Something's wrong. Ever since we picked up that Sith firefight in the region, crewmen haven't been reporting for their shifts, and I can't reach. The strange thing is, I keep feeling like someone's watching us here in the ship, but I can't see any. Checking the survivor from the Sith vessel. I'm not sure whether he's alive or dead. His flesh is cracked and scarred, and I'm registering several thousand fractures in his skeleton, as if each bone was splintered repeatedly over. Judging from the scar tissue, I believe these wounds took place before his death. If so, he must have been in This is the medical officer. The soldiers sent to the medical bay have just died. I don't know where the subject went. I think he's with him or Sith. They just appeared right out of thin air, like they were wearing... I think they were always on board. When we stopped to pick up that freighter, I have no idea how many are on the ship. There could be only a few, or as many as 100. And I think that thing in the tank was a Sith Lord, alive the whole time.
So as you can see, like, it's always good to check terminals and to check droids and just really utilize everything in the game. Like I think I had mentioned before that combat in this game is kind of 30 to 40% of the game. Like, combat to me is kind of just in there. It's not really what the core of the game is about. The game is about learning about what's happening in the story and interacting with NPCs and helping people or hurting people and like kind of choosing who you want to be. And you learn a lot about the lore of the game by, really just checking terminals. And one cool feature in this game that wasn't in the previous game is you've noticed that it auto reads data pads. So like when I went to my room,
I know we need to get out of here.
And I grabbed the tree.
Look, I'd be happy to share my whole life story when we are.
It automatically read it.
I know we need to get out of here.
Kotor 1, you had to like physically go and find it, and by the end of the game, by the middle of the game, you pick up tens of hundred data pads.
And they are
so
responsible
it can get
for
kind of hard to find the right one. And a lot of them will have like just a generic name data pad.
And your stubborn blindness
to our situation so it can be hard to know which one and what you're learning.
They are assassins, and they are. We must escape this.
I've just realized I haven't explained to you my combat style in this game. For me personally, my player character always goes with, if I'm able to, double-bladed weapon. In Kotor 1, I always went with the double-bladed lightsaber as soon as possible. You have to get dueling feet to negate any kind of damage penalties against you to be able to do that. But I just like... I like double-bladed lightsabers in general. I like the look and the feel, but it was it does a little bit more damage in Kotor, and it's the same in this one. It's got a little bit higher damage ceiling and damage range, and so that's kind of what we go with. And so you'll kind of see over the course of the video as we go for like a double-sided, like a long staff, and eventually we upgrade to a double-bladed vibroblade. Vibroblades in this game are basically a material that can like clash with lightsabers. That's kind of how they get around. Lightsabers can't slice through anything and stuff. But yeah, my character always goes for a double-bladed melee type weapon. My ideal lineup for the party in the early game is usually 2 melee characters and a ranged character. Right now we're playing with 2 ranged and melee. By the end, my ideal team usually is, at least in Kotor 1, it was always a Jedi Consular, a Jedi Guardian, and then myself with whatever I was playing as. In the lore of this game, Guardians are very adept with the Force, so like they get tons of Force powers, tons of Force points. Sentinels, which is the class I'm playing as, is kind of like a mix of both. You don't get a ton of either stuff. You kind of get a middle ground, which I think will be good for this playthrough. And Guardians are very attack focused, and so they have less Force powers, less Force points, but they get tons of feats. They get tons of attack. They have tons of health. Their feats have, like, in Kotor 1, they had a jumping feat, which basically, if you had a clear line of sight to an enemy and you were a decent distance away, you could do a leaping attack, like, directly to them and do massive damage. It's basically a plunging attack, only it's like a leaping from distance attack, which is cool. But again, we are playing as a Jedi Sentinel, so we will kind of have a nice mix of powers and feats.
More where that came from. Everyone down. a bad feeling about this. Don't you feel it? Something's gonna get real. You don't survive on the rim as long as I have. All right, but don't trust me. When it comes to staying alive.
That complexion, though. Where on earth
This
did you
battle
get
is
that
mine
vibroblade?
alone. I am
I
not
did not
defenseless.
give you that vibroblade. What?
He cannot kill what he cannot see, and power has blinded him long ago. Run! I shall be along shortly.
Tell me you're joking. We are not gonna cross back into the Parag. All right, but I know I'm gonna regret.
I sense you, my master. Faint, weak.
Your senses betray you, as you betrayed me.
After all that's happened, still you live. You are difficult to kill.
For one as limited as you, perhaps. To have fallen so far and learned nothing, that is your failing.
The failure is yours. No longer do your whispers crawl within my skull. No longer do I suffer beneath teachings that weaken us. And now you run in search of the Jedi. They are all dead, save one. And one broken Jedi cannot stop the darkness that is to come.
Perhaps we shall see.
What's wrong? Are you all right? Damn it, hold on. It's only a little far. What happened to you? Huh? How do you... Look, if she's in pain, then that pain's buying us time, especially if Sleeps with Vibroblades gets tired of playing with her and decides to use us for practice.